It's Peter here, CEO and founder of SailPro. In this video, I'm going to be doing a full walkthrough and demonstration on how yacht clubs can use SailPro RaceControl to create races, manage their entire live racing tracking if they're using SailPro. So in this video, I'm going to go through all of the features and functionality and how you actually use it. So to get started, you can see I'm inside RaceControl here. You just simply use this URL at the top here to get to RaceControl. Just a note, to access RaceControl, you do need a SailPro Club account, and you can get one of those from us by going to our website and going to the link provided in the description of this video. But once you're inside RaceControl, it's here where you can basically set up and manage all of your live yacht races. From the panel here. But just before we jump into that, I just want to walk through some of the other things that we've got with inside RaceControl that are utilities that you can use. We basically got obviously list of help articles. We've got a direct list to the current yacht racing rulebook. We've also got a link to our sailing simulator, which is basically a tool that you can use to simulate yacht racing, use it for training, simulate, say, protest hearings. It's got some AI in it to do things like determine what are the likely rules that have been infringed between boats, as well as the ability to be able to simulate boats actually sailing past the ley line, what happens when the line is set or biased, those types of things. So it's a really great training tool and a great tool to use around the yacht club. So that's SailPro Sim. But just jumping back into RaceControl. So once you're in normal RaceControl here, you've got a list of all your races. At the top, you can search for races. You can filter by status, so whether they've started or not started, dates, and then the numbers of selections that you've got here. So that's the console for RaceControl. The first thing that you want to do when you're inside RaceControl is create races, and so that's very easy to do. You just go over to the right hand side here, you click create new, and then you can create your race. You can just give it a race name. Could be Summer Series Race 1, the race location. GYC might be the name of the yacht club or the address of your yacht club. The date and time, we'll set it for this Saturday, starting at 12 a.m. Sorry. You can give it a description. You can also paste in here an instruction URL. So this might be a link to your sailing instructions. You can upload a banner image if you like, and then just click tick and accept the race organizer agreement and click create. Okay, so now you have created that race. You can see that here. You can now see the date and time. You can see the name of it. You can see its race token, and we'll talk about that later, about how you use that to send to any potential competitors. That's what they use to enter the race. Okay, so it's really important, that token. The status, the location, and the current number of participants, and who the owner is of the race. So just a quick note, with inside RaceControl, we can allow multiple people access to your club account if you like. So if you've got multiple race officers that need access to this, we can set up access to that to your specific account. Okay, so basically you've created the race. Now let's walk into talk about the next feature, which is what we've just released in this version actually, which is really exciting, is the ability to set up courses for particular races. Okay, so to create a course for a particular race is quite easy. All you need to do is select the race here by selecting it here in the checkbox and coming over to the course icon. You can click that, and now you'll notice we're in the course management, or what we call the course builder. And so to create course marks is quite easy. Obviously it's going to center on your current location. But there's multiple ways that you can add marks and set up the course structure within inside SailPro. The first way that you can do it is simply come into the builder and click Add Course Element. And then you can select from a predefined list of elements such as start lines, change marks, finish lines, leeward gates, passing marks, all those types of normal mark structures that you would use in your courses. So in this example, I'm just going to select the start line. And then from here, you can manually set the start line. So we're going to set the port end, or you can change the name of it if you like, custom label. So you might call it the start box. You know, your club might have a name for what you call your start box, and that might be the pin end of your line. What we'll do is we can then just scroll in here, select for the pin end, just select our little pick from map button, and then we'll just stick it here where it is on the end of that jetty. Okay, and then you can see that'll pre-populate it with the latitude and longitude in decimal degrees. Always important to remember, everything that we do is in decimal degrees. It's exactly the same as every other type of latitude and longitude, it's just formatted differently. And so, yeah, as you can see, you can select it from the map, or what you can do is you can type in the latitude and longitude. So if you know the exact latitude and longitude of your marks, you can type that in here manually for each course element. All right, and I'm just going to save that to the map. Oh, sorry, we didn't do the other end. I'll just come and do the other end of the start line, and then which is there, and then we'll just save that to map, and now you can see you've plotted your start line. But let's just add another mark just to show you how to add marks sort of manually. So we just again click the add course element. We're going to select the element type. For this one, we're going to use a passing mark and then give it a name. It could be, you know, CB2, whatever it might be. And then you can select which, because it's a passing mark, which side the boats have got to leave that to. So in this case, we're going to leave it to port. And then again, from the mark coordinates, we can either manually type in the latitude and longitude in decimal degrees, or we can select it from the map. So we're going to use our pick from map button. We're going to click here, and then we're going to click save to map. And now you can see we've got the first leg of our course, which obviously starts from the start line to the first mark. And you can see that as this is a port rounding mark, then it's colored red.
So in addition to manually creating marks, we can also utilize saved marks. So the concept here is that you can basically create all of your pre-used normal marks that you might have if you're doing mixed fleet racing or around the sticks types of things, or around the cans, I should say. You can pre-upload these marks, and then you can use those to basically pick from in the course builder. All right, so you can see here we've already created some. So you can see we've already got the start line, we've got the finishing line, got another start line here, another finish line here, CB3, and these marks as well. All right, and so you can basically create those by using a similar way, by just basically creating the mark, giving it a mark name. Could be CB. So we've already got CB3, CB2. We can, okay, it's a buoy, and we can put the coordinates in and then save it, or we can use the map, pick from map here as well. So we can save that, right? And now we have the CB3 in here as well. And so when we go back into our builder and we add a course element, we can select from save marks. Okay, so we're going to use the start line. We're going to call it the custom label is start line pin boat, and we're going to select that from marks. And if we scroll down here, we have our say start line jetty, and our other end, our starboard end of the start line is the start line pier, and click save to map. And now you can see it's already pre-populated that in there, right? So we don't need to manually select where the marks go every time. We can use that from save marks. So that saves a lot of time. Okay, and so we can keep building that out as we like. But let's just jump back into the save marks. Again, as I showed you, you can show them here. You can hide the marks if you want or show them. And you can also turn off and on if you want to show marks in the current view or not. So if you're in this view and you have this ticked, it will only show the marks that exist inside this view. If you have that unticked, it'll show all marks anywhere you go. All right, so just keep that in mind. Handy feature is the ability to import a CSV file with the marks, okay, already pre-populated. So I'm going to give you an example of how to do that now. To quickly add saved marks is to use our import CSV feature here, okay? So you can use this button to download a sample CSV, and as long as you import the data as it's inside this sample CSV file and then re-upload it, it will import those. So what I'll do now is I've already got a pre-saved one. I'll just open that. And here we go. You can see it here, okay? So here is my pre-saved course marks, okay? And you can see I've got the name of the mark, the type, buoy, and the lat, and the longitude here. So as long as I've got those in here correctly, I can import those into RaceControl. And it's also important to note that your latitude and longitude need to be in decimal degrees. All right, that's really important that you format them into decimal degrees. If you've got them in any other format, there's a formula to convert that, right? So it's very easy to convert any sort of latitude and longitude into decimal degrees. All right, so all I need to do now is click the Import CSV File button, select my CSV file, click Open, and there you go. There you'll see all of those marks have been imported into RaceControl. Just a tip, if you can't see all of them, please remember to unselect this checkbox here, Show Only Marks for Current View. If you have that ticked, it's not going to show it's only going to show the marks that are in the current view. So if you see, if I scroll out and I've got that ticked, it will show all the marks. But if I have that, if I zoom in, it's only going to show here the marks that are relevant to that view. All right. But as you can see, here's all our marks for the local yacht club and their marks from their sailing instructions. All right. So you basically have those there. All right. So that's how you would import saved marks into your RaceControl. All right. You've got all these saved marks in here. What you can do is basically go back to your builder and then call those from here. Okay. So if I go and I'll put my start line in, okay, because that's sort of a one you kind of may adjust all the time or whatever. It might be a pre-saved one. And then I'll just add another course element here. And so the next mark is going to be we just call it a passing mark, okay? And we could leave the custom label as passing mark, but let's put the actual label name of the mark, which is say CB4, and we need to leave that to starboard. And then the mark coordinates here, what we can do, you could just go like that if you wanted to, or what you could do is just come from selected or select from marks and then find CB4, okay? And then click that there and then click, save to map. And so now you've got that course in there, okay? So now what we're going to do is we'll add another course element. We'll add in CB3, leaving that to port, select add course element, call it a whatever you want to call it. It could be a jibe mark or what have you. We'll just leave it as a passing mark. And then we'll put the name of the mark in there. CB3, leave to port, select from marks, CB3. And there you go, save to mark, and so on and so forth, right? So that's how easy it is to sort of build a course using those saved maps. Then what you can do is once you've built that course up, what you can then do is save the current course as a template. Okay, so you've got all your course marks in here, you're satisfied they're all correct and the order is correct. you just click this Save Current Course as a template, give it a name, Course 1, click Save, and done. Now you've saved that template. So if you jump into templates, you've got Course 1 here. All right, you can delete it. So if we want to apply that template, we can go back to the builder. We'll clear these marks out, which we were using before. And just keep in mind that you're still in the same race, the race 1 of the winter series. Click templates and click the arrow to the right button to apply it. And so there you go. So that course, that templated course that you've already saved, that now applies here. All right, so you can do this and you reuse those over and over and over again. So if you've got standardized courses, which most yacht clubs have, you can do it this way. If you're doing that sort of around the cans type fixed mark racing. And then obviously if you're doing windward returns or sort of more Olympic style courses, you can use the manual course. All right, so once that's done, you've actually created the course. You've created the race and created the course. The course, we're happy with that. We can use the back button here to jump back into race control. You can just click leave here because it saves every time that you actually do something. All right, so here's that course here, and you'll now notice that it's got a course configured there, okay? So we've created our race, we've set our course up, and now what we need to do is manage the race, okay? So SailPro RaceControl flows very similar to a normal race. Normal race, you enter, so you share the token here with your competitors. They use that token to enter into the SailPro app, which I have over here. And then once they have entered the race, on the morning of the race or whenever it seems appropriate, you can start the race. And then once you've started the race, the participants or the competitors can start tracking from the app, and then we can start to see their location. So what we'll do is we'll run through that workflow in step by step. All right, so we've created our race, we have set up our course, and now people can start to enter that anytime you like. So you could have set this up months in advance or a day in advance, it doesn't really matter. And all you need to do is share that token there. So you can copy that and then put that into your sail instructions. As I mentioned before, you might embed it into your own website or download it into a CSV file and then copy and paste that into your sailing instructions and then give that to your competitors. So your competitors, what we'll do is we can also open the race viewer from here. So if we click this here, this is the live race viewer here. So this is what you're looking at. And so if there, you can see it's not started, and you can see there are no boats that have entered the race here. So if we go back and we basically, what we'll do is, we'll copy that to the clipboard. We'll jump in and to the app and we'll simulate being a competitor. We'll click race mode. We'll click live race tracking. We'll come to the plus button and then we'll enter that race token here. All right, which is here. And then we click find race and here's that race, okay? Race 1, winter series, race is not started, the date and time, the location, the race token and the viewer. So the participant knows how to actually share the race viewer themselves and with other people to watch the race going on. Any descriptions, any of that sort of thing. And so now they've found the race, and so now they're going to enter the race. And this flows almost identical to how a normal race would be set up or for a series or anything. You enter the race, you put your name, all right, you select your boat, and the boats are saved on the device, okay? And so a SailPro user may have multiple boats. You know, they might race a J24 or a TP52, or they might have a laser, what have you. They might have different boats. So they can select their boat from here. And if they don't have one, they can add a new boat. Right? I'll just select new wave and then I'll put in the number and the number of persons on board, and then I'll agree to the competitor acknowledgement. I click submit. All right, and so now I've entered the race. And so if you jump back into the live race viewer, if you refresh this, you'll see participants 1 here. And then if you jump back in here, you can see there's that boat that's entered New Wave. All right. And so you can see boats are entering. So if you create your races months in advance, you'll be able to use this to see who's entered and who hasn't. You'll also note that there's a little grey dot here. You can see that's grey. That's grey because we have not received any location data from that device as yet. And they can't start sending location data because the race actually hasn't been started. At this point, they've just entered the race. So you can allow your competitors to enter as many as you see fit. And then on the day, you want to start the race. Okay, so what you do on the day is you come here, you click the tick box, you set the status here to started, and then you click apply. And then you click confirm. And then you'll notice that race has now started here, all right? And so if I jump back into the app and I refresh here, you'll see now the competitor can sign on and start tracking. And so if we jump back into the race viewer here, you'll see now the race is live. Still see we've got that one entry. We could see all of the others, but let's keep that open. Let's go back into the competitors app. Competitor clicks sign on and starts tracking. And then if you wait a few seconds, you can see that the status icon has gone green. And so now you can see that the green button is tracking. All right. So we can now see that we're getting location data. And if we move this out of the way, you can actually see now where that device is or where that boat is. Obviously, it's at my office. So if it was on the water, you'd be able to see on the water. And then any boat that enters, they will populate down here in this list. All right. And so you can actually see their live location. You can see their boat speed and course over ground. You can hide boats if you like. You can also see the statistics such as boat speed, initial show for all of the boats, average, max, distance travel, course over ground. And there's a bunch of controls here that you can use to show the playback if you want. If you have advertising enabled, you'll see banner ads up here as well. And then once that race has started tracking, we'll just refresh that. You'll see now we get the time slider at the bottom. All right, so you can see this race has been going for 1 minute and 57 seconds. And it's going because the race is live, okay? And so you can see that. And then you basically allow people to enter, upload, start transmitting their data, and now everybody can watch the race live from here. And again, you can take this URL and share that with the world. Share it on Facebook, share it on your internet site, wherever you feels appropriate. You can share that with the world and people can watch the race live. All right, so that's how you manage the race and a competitor joins it. If we just jump back into race control, then what you can do is you can then end that race. So at the end of the race, basically come here and then or you could postpone it if you need to, or you could end it, cancel it, or abandon it. So we'll just end it, make it ended. And now the status is ended. All right, so you can see now we've got one participant. So if we go back here, you'll see now this is ended, and now this will turn to red because the participants won't be able to stream any data any longer. Okay, so just if you want to know the each device streams lap and long, boat speed, course over ground, and some other control information every 10 seconds. All right, so you will see that play out here. All right, so that's how you manage and control, join and enter a race. in-depth description of SailPro RaceControl, how you use that as a club to manage your live race tracking using SailPro. You've probably got some questions, and so I'm just going to answer those here. One of the biggest questions we get is what happens if a device loses internet? Well, what happens is the device will cache or store the data locally on it, and so when the device reconnects, it will upload the data. So sometimes you've got a long race and maybe people might drop out of internet coverage. What'll happen is you might see a boat sort of stop, and then maybe 20 minutes later or an hour later, depending on how long your race is, you'll see the boat appear and then move quite quickly. What it's doing is just uploading and redrawing its historical course. All right, so that's what happens if you lose internet coverage. You can invite as many competitors to join into the race. The competitors only need the free version of SailPro, so they don't need the pro version. That's important to note. And also, if you have created that race using your SailPro account, you can also manage this in a similar fashion on your mobile phone. So instead of coming to the entered races, you go to my races with inside live race tracking, and then you can come in here and manage these. You'll see we get the same buttons here. All right, so you have that control as well on your device. One other thing is you're probably thinking, oh, where's that course? Well, because I was here, it's centering on here. If you click each device, then you'll see, or each competitor, you'll zoom into them, so you won't see that course here. So here's the course, right? And so it's been marked here. Alrighty. We've also got, I guess, spend a little bit of time on these. Smooth playback, basically what it will do, we recommend just leaving that. It'll smooth the playback. You know, as I said, the updates are every 10 seconds. So rather than a jolting, that it sort of smooths between the 10-second intervals. You can loop the playback. So let's say you're showing this in your bar on a big monitor. You can click loop playback. So if I come here and I go back and click play, then you'll watch the race unfold, and then when it gets to the end, it will go back and start again. All right, so that's what that's for. Fading trails, as the name suggests, it causes the trails to fade. The trail length, you can make the trail length shorter or longer. The playback speed, you can increase. You know, yachting in many cases is not a very fast sport, so you can run the race quite quickly, which is often quite good if you've got a long race and you've got this playing live, or you're replaying it in a bar. You could actually speed that up. All right. Location data. That's nothing really. You can trim, put time tags in. So what you can do here is you can come here, and then I can put time tags here. So I put my cursor to here, I click time tags, and I can put in, say this is the start, and click add. All right, and then I'll just close that. And so now you see we've got this little yellow dot, the yellow line here. You can see that's the start. And if I move that to here, and I put in a time tag and I put finish and then click add, then you can see there's that there, okay? As I also mentioned, you can trim a race. So if you click the trim feature, what you can do is come here. If there's a live race, you'll see a graph here showing movement, where the movements have been. And what that does is help you drag these sliders. So you just pick up the slider, and you drag it to here, and then maybe do the end. All right, and then you click trim, and you can use the controls to zoom in and zoom out, like almost like you're trimming a video, and then click here and then give it a name of a race and click create, and it will clone that race. It will copy that race, I should say, and it will remove any of the trim data here. So I'll just cancel that for now. Okay, and then if you want to, you can clone that race from here as well, but we suggest that you really do that inside RaceControl. All right, So that's it. Hopefully we've answered all the questions. If not, please do reach out to us. We're more than happy to jump on a call with any yacht club or sailing class association and run you through this. You can have multiple club members. You can give them access to this if you want. You just need to notify us of their individual SailPro accounts, and we can assign them to your race control here. And again, if you want to put in banner advertising, you can provide that to us, and we can inject that into any of your races. All right, so with that, Peter here from SailPro again. Thanks so much for watching. We know it's a long video. There's a lot to it, but again, if you've got any questions whatsoever, best thing is to reach out and we'll jump on a Zoom call and run through it with you.